Yo, what's good, YouTube fam? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, go ahead and hit that new subscribe button, turn on the post notifications. Today, we're going to deep dive into one of the most tense, gritty thrillers of the year, Sinners, starring no other than Michael B. Jordan. Let's go ahead and talk about the actual movie, and let's get into it. All right, the movie Sinners is directed by director Ryan Coogler, who's you might know him for the movies Creed all the way to the Marvel Cinema Black Panther films. Sinners drop us in the streets of the horror film set of 1932 in Mississippi Delta during the Jim Crow era, where corruption runs deeper than ever in the South and everybody's hiding something. Michael B. Jordan plays two outstanding characters. He played identical twin brothers Smoke and Stack, who just returned to their hometown after years living in Chicago working under the gangster Al Capone. The twins purchased an old swan mill from the racist white landowner to start a juke joint box locally for the black community. When they're confronted by supernatural evil, more importantly, did I mention to you guys? It's a vampire film. The twins become haunted by their past and become successful with this juke joint. Let me tell you about Michael B. Jordan, delivering one of the most raw, vulnerable, and absolutely unhinged performances of his career with this film. More importantly, part what makes Sinners work was the director. It was so well done from his takes, it is letting us know that these characters from start all the way down to the end. We spend the full day with Smoke and Stacks among their younger cousin Sammy, Miles Catan, with a breakout performance on his big screen debut. The preacher's son and a blues prodigy to help get their club off the ground in the opening night. In fact, the movie opens with a flash forward of the bloody, battered Sammy returning home after the morning after the stumbling into the father's church with a broken neck of the guitar in his hand. The prelude goes from there as the terrifying events unfold as the club joint after the sun goes down. An unaccompanied narration recounts a legend tale of a musician who is so gifted they can pierce the veil between the worlds of the living and the dead, conjuring spirits from both the past and the future. We learn from this film preternatural ability has the power of healing communities, but it can also attract evil. Sammy just happens to have that actual gift. By the time the opening night of the juke joint gets underway, we've been introduced by a variety of characters from a grizzled bluesman, Delta Slim, a scene-stealing Delroy Lindo, to a Chinese American grocer, Bro Chow, and his wife Gracie, who is played by Luan Lee, to Smoke and Stack's respective former flames, Annie and Mary. While Mary was a multiracial roots, she is also white passing, a trait that is alluded to the reason that Stacks previously left her behind. It also leads to a trio of white vampires drawn to the celebration by Sammy transition music with his talents. First, getting their foot door into the club juke helps with advertising. When the film really starts to kick in, we have spent at least 90 minutes of 137-minute film with these people and their stories. Sinners plays by many of the traditional vampire rules. One of them, which is being the undead, must be invited into the building before entering. So when the head vampire Remick, played by Jack O'Connell, and his two recent white recruits show up originally at Smoke and Stacks as they look suspiciously enough of the motives to turn them away, but Mary goes outside to try to find more about them, and she finds herself quickly turned into a vampire, and she becomes their weapon. She proceeds to use her established relationship to get invited back into by seducing, attacking, and then turning the twin brother Stacks. It's Stacks' death that leads to Smoke and his inner circle clearing out the club, and all hell breaks loose, as those who have fled also have been turned. Realizing the price of a remix offer to their souls, The living must make a desperate last stand in the result of a gruesome death of everyone but Smoke and Sammy. While Smoke and Stacks battle it out into the club, Remick confronts Sammy outside, revealing his true motives. Luckily, Sammy is able to wound him with a guitar before Smoke showed up to pull a stake through his heart. And the rest of the horror is there to kill as the sunrise goes about and the vampires are pretty much killed off. Sinners is a rich tapestry of themes given its high rewatch value. I'm certain that I wasn't able to pick up everything what this great film had to offer. The director was laying down everything good because every frame shot had a meaning and will keep you invested to enjoy the film. But if you came to watch it just to soak in the music, you'll be perfectly fine. If you decide that you were here just to see the vampire movie, you're getting that as well. Ultimately, this film was operated with the highest caliber on every level. As a note, the film storytelling was very clear until the end. So you won't believe that action movie until the lights turn on. Highly recommend you watch it all the way through. First off, let's talk about Michael B. Jordan, who's on another level. We've seen him be the hero, we got to see him become the villain. But this is something different. He plays twins who slowly begin unraveling and feel every ounce of paranoia, rage, and grief. The dude's eyes alone tell a whole story with his character, and Smoke was there for a relationship, and Stacks was there for a friendship, from my personal opinion. Sinners ain't your typical horror movie. It's messy, it's dark, it's gritty. It's one of those films where you constantly second guess every character's motives. The pacing keeps you on edge, and a couple of slow burns in the second act, but honestly, it works. It lets you stew a bit all the way into the uneasy. That being said, it's not a perfect film, but it was very close to it from my view. I wish you have gotten more screen time when it came to being added, but more importantly, the ways out the whole descent for the twins. Sinners is a masterclass horror style that uses shadows, the old feeling of being soaked back into the 1930s, those who linger shots where you can almost hear the vampires breathing and singing to be welcome in. It's gorgeous and grimy in that kind of way. And shout out to the composer Luis Kozanson, who delivers a chilling, string heavy score that will crawl under your skins to stay there for every moment. When it comes to the final verdict of Sinners, when it comes to this haunting carry out Terry of being a powerhouse performance, including Michael B. Jordan, including all the twists and turns, when it comes to this film, I'm giving it a 9.5 out of 10 stars. I highly recommend it if you're a fan of vampire thrillers like Dracula, The Lost Boys, even Blade. Do yourself a favor and check out this one. You won't be disappointed. All right, fam, there you have it for the actual review for Sinners. Drop your thoughts down below in the comments. Tell me what was your favorite moment. Let's get a conversation going. Smash the like button. And if you dig this review, I'll catch you guys in the next one. It was a pleasure having you guys. You guys be safe.